Last night there was a series of storms that pushed through Missouri and Kentucky. There have been at least 25 people who have died, I believe. Lots of property damage and multiple tornadoes, as far as I know, have touched down in that area, flooding, all sorts of things. Now we're hearing after the fact that part of the reason why it potentially was so bad is that the National Weather Service no longer does 24-hour staffing at some of its locations. There weren't meteorologists on staff to follow these storms, make predictions, get alerts out, and they were having to rely on, areas that were slightly farther away, things like that. Now, because of budget cuts, this administration has left the National Weather Service severely lacking. They had done over 50 years of having 24-hour meteorologists who were tracking storms, being able to get warnings out, knowing what was going to happen day in, day out, so they could, try to mitigate the damage and the loss as best they can, at least to human life. You still can't completely get rid of property damage, but 24-hour coverage would be a lot better. And some other things that they had done, they've also had to scale back how they launch weather balloons, things like that. So there's not as much going on. So they're having a worse time being able to predict storms. And this is all thanks to this current administration trying to cut budget, etc., claiming it as wasteful. They don't see the point. Now, there's been talk that the Trump administration wants to push things like the National Weather Service back to states. Well, when they've already cut the budget and the state wasn't able to pick up, this is the result. This is what you see. Now we will see what kind of response FEMA has from this storm. They've already reached out to FEMA in differing areas asking for disaster aid. We will see what they roll out. So far, this administration has not rolled out a lot of disaster aid, if any at all. Remember, during the Biden administration, there was a lot of backlash about how aid was handled. But yet, Biden and his administration would have had teams ready to go as these storms were even predicted, so that they could have rolled out the minute the storms passed, as they had an idea of what was needed and things like that. They could have been going. But one of the complaints about the Biden administration was the amount of money given initially, which was approved by Congress. That was not a Biden decision or a decision made by his administration. So we'll see how the Trump administration handles these disasters. I think they're partially to blame for the loss of life because they understaffed the National Weather Service. And we'll see if they change their policies about staffing and cuts to the National Weather Service, but I doubt they will.